In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 different types of cleaning that I do in my refrigerator. So right here, you can see that my fridge is a mess. I have teenage boys that like to make themselves lots of food, and they don't typically put things back the way mom does. That is okay because I have a system. So I have 3 different kinds of cleanings that I do in my refrigerator. So the first one, the one that I'm going to be doing right now, this is my weekly clean. There are 2 things that I focus on when I am doing my weekly fridge clean out. Now, I typically do this on Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon when I am doing my weekly prep. I do this because it is the day that I am prepping for the week, so I like to kind of see what we have, things like that. So what I'm focusing on is I'm getting rid of things that are no longer good. So typically leftovers that have been in here a little bit too long, things that we just didn't get to. Sometimes I find fruits and veggies that are way past their prime, things like that. And then I'm also looking for things that have spilled. So I'm not typically going to come in here and start wiping things down unless there is an obvious spill. So like I said, I'm focusing on 2 things: getting rid of the things that need to be trashed, wiping up obvious spills. You can see that sausage right there. That was something that needed to be put in the freezer. So I pulled it out, put it in the freezer, and then I'm just kind of putting things back in a neat and orderly fashion. And that is pretty much all I do on a weekly basis.
I've been trying my best for a while, trying to please everyone who's around me. I've been putting on a fake smile, even though I'm wasting time. I don't want to be trapped in a box, trying to be like the rest when I'm not.
My least favorite thing about this task is once I have emptied all of these Pyrex dishes, I have got to wash them. Most days I will have room in the dishwasher and I can just throw them in the dishwasher. This particular day I needed to wash them by hand, so that is what I did. But that sausage, like I said, I found it because I went through everything and I realized that we were not going to get to it this week, so I needed to put it in the freezer. I did cut it in half because it's 2 pounds of sausage and we don't usually eat 2 pounds at one time. So I sliced that up and got it in the freezer, and then I took care of these dishes.
Gonna let the past burn down, 'cause honestly don't wanna be stuck in more.
All right, so next we are going to move to our monthly fridge clean out. So I do this when I'm doing my zone cleaning in my kitchen. I like to set aside a few minutes to do kind of a little bit of a deeper clean that I'm doing weekly. So I like to pull everything off of the shelves, everything out of the drawers, everything out of the like the shelves that are in the door. I do them one shelf or one drawer at a time. So I pull everything off the shelf. I wipe the shelf down really well. I'm just using warm water and some dish soap. Then I wipe the items off and then I put them back. And like I said, I go through the refrigerator and I do one section at a time. So one shelf, one drawer, and then also the drawers in the door of the fridge. The other thing that I am looking for when I'm doing this is expired items, especially things that are in the door. Things like salad dressing and condiments and things like that. I like to kind of just keep an eye on those things, and if something is expired, I will go ahead and toss it.
With you, I'm gonna leave it all behind, find myself, I'm gonna start over new. Yeah, I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
If you notice that either in a drawer or on a shelf that you've got quite a few crumbs that have built up, you may find it easier to grab a handheld vacuum and then go ahead and just vacuum those big crumbs, and then it will be easier to give everything a quick wipe down.
I'm on my way now.
Does anyone else feel like condiments just multiply in your refrigerator? There have been times where we have had so many condiments, it was hard to put actual food away, which is completely ridiculous. So over the last year or so, I've kind of really tried to tone down the condiments just a little bit. I've tried to not buy as many ingredients that are like specialty ingredients that we're not going to use frequently, so that we're not going through them. We still have a buildup of them because we all tend to like different things. We all like different salad dressings and different dips and stuff. But I just find that it's so funny how we can use so much fridge real estate for condiments.
If I listen to my heart, I'm gonna leave it all behind. Find myself,
now we are moving to quarterly fridge cleaning tasks. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I am using quarterly loosely. I probably actually only do this twice a year. I usually tackle it sometime in the first quarter during like a spring cleaning, and then I think I usually do it in the fall, kind of before all of the holidays. So it kind of just depends on your schedule. It depends on, how good of a job you're doing in between. But usually I only do this twice a year, sometimes maybe once a year, but you just got to do what you got to do. So this is when everything is getting a super scrub down. So I pulled everything out of this door and I am scrubbing everything. I am making sure that where all of these bins were, I'm making sure everything behind there is nice and clean. I am cleaning out all of these shelves before I put them back. I do want to give you guys a little bit of a tip. Keep in mind that everything in your refrigerator is very cold. And if you have glass shelves or glass anything that you are pulling out of your refrigerator, do not pull it out while it is cold and then immediately run it under hot water. Your glass could shatter, so please do not do that. Later on in this video, I did have a glass insert that I pulled out and I chose to wash it with very cold water for that reason. These are just plastic, so I don't have to be as careful with that, but just make sure that if you're pulling anything out that is glass, that you do not clean it with hot water if it's still cold. You could obviously, let it sit out on the counter and come to room temperature, and then you could do it that way. So what I do is I make sure that everything gets really clean. Everything that I can possibly pull out of the refrigerator, any shelf, anything like that, any drawer, bin, it is going to come out of my refrigerator and I'm going to clean it with soap and water. I also like to make sure that I dry things very well before I put them back. That way they don't have any kind of water spots on them. Because let me tell you, if you have taken the time to pull all of this out, you wash it and then you put it back and you've got water spots, you are not going to be happy. It's going to feel like the whole thing has been ruined. So take those extra few minutes and make sure that you are drying things thoroughly before you put everything back. I'm sure most of you do not have 3 wet paintbrushes stored in baggies in your fridge door, but that is the life of someone that is painting things constantly. I like to keep my wet paintbrushes in a bag and I keep them in the fridge so that I don't have to clean them out every single time. So in case you were wondering what those little baggies were, that is what that was. These white plastic bins had something on them. I'm not really sure what it was, so I chose to just use some Dawn Power Wash and let it sit on there for a few minutes before I tackled washing those. Another thing that I do, because I'm usually doing this either quarterly or twice a year, sometimes once a year, is I do take notice of condiments and things like that. I like to check expiration dates and make sure that as I'm putting things back, I'm not putting things back that are expired. But the main focus of this particular clean is really just to clean the actual refrigerator itself.
Yeah, I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now. starting a bar. I just wanna go my own way. 'Cause I am on my way. 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 I am on my
As I start to pull shelves out of the refrigerator, I like to make sure that I'm wiping the back of the refrigerator and the sides of the refrigerator really well. Sometimes you'll get like gunk from food and drinks and things like that that will splatter. Sometimes I'm not even sure how those things happen, but they do happen. So while you are pulling things out, just go ahead and take the time and make sure you wipe all of those things down. Most of the time I can get away with just using a kitchen rag with some soap. Sometimes I will need to break out a magic eraser. I feel like a magic eraser works really well on the interior of a refrigerator. So if you've got something that's not budging for you, try a magic eraser.
I'm out of reasons, I'm out of rhyme, but I'll only tell you that I'm out of time. I'm sick of love songs, I'm tired of this, and I wanna tell you straight just like it is. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love.
If you use any kind of organizing containers inside your fridge, go ahead and pull those out and wash those things as well. You're probably going to find something sticky or some kind of crumbs or things like that. So while you're going through everything in the fridge, go ahead and pull all of those bins out and wash
My
those.
heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get. Show me your
For those of you that have one nice big sink, I am sure that that will make this task a little bit easier. I made a huge mess doing this. I just did. I was dumping water everywhere. It was a mess. I will tell you that I was not able to pull all of my drawers out. The way our refrigerator is situated, the door on the right doesn't open all of the way because of the wall. So I wasn't able to pull everything out. So I just did the best that I could. I cleaned this drawer, the other drawer in there, I just wiped it out really, really well. And then back here where that drawer was, there's like a little lip right there. I made sure that I cleaned all of that really well. Another thing you want to look for is down here, this seal. Like this seal is for the freezer drawer. There's seals all over this thing. Make sure you're wiping those down really well. You can see there's some stuff right there. We're going to tackle that in just a minute. But if there's something that you can't pull out, or you're not sure if you can pull it out and you're just scared, you don't want to break something, just do the best that you can. You can see right here, this drawer won't come out. Now we could pull the fridge out and do all the things, but I'm just not. Right here, you can see something spilled and was trapped between the glass and the plastic part of this really long shelf. I was able to pop the glass out and get everything super clean. I did not film that because it was just really hard dealing with the glass and I was scared I was going to break something. So I just was really focused on what I was doing, but I did get it done. So when you were doing your quarterly fridge clean out, you were really just focusing on cleaning the actual fridge itself. And then your monthly and weekly fridge cleanouts, those will help you maintain the deep clean that you did. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, please consider subscribing down below, and I will see you guys very soon.